What's going on, everyone? So in a huge shocker, the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, has won Rookie of the Year. First player in league history to reach 15,000 points, 700 rebounds, 250 assists, 250 blocks, and 100 three-pointers made in a season. Now, obviously, I'm joking. This was not a shocker. This is something that was fully expected because he had a remarkable season. I mean, he was breaking every record possible from a rookie. You could have made an argument, and in my opinion, I think it should have happened, of him winning Defensive Player of the Year also. Right? Like I talked, like Rudy Gobert, don't get me wrong, he's a solid defensive guy. He's not capable, nor was he doing things that Victor Wembanyama was doing. Right? Victor undoubtedly should have potentially stacked a couple more awards this season besides just the Rookie of the Year award. But he's incredibly young, incredibly gifted, coming off of just a remarkable NBA season. Right? Going into this season, there was obviously a ton of hype, the alien hype. You know, there's already comparisons like, oh, he's destined to be the greatest player ever. He was created to end the Jordan and LeBron debate, all that. So you heard all the noise, which I personally am not a huge fan of for the young guys, right? Like, let them come in and develop, right? But I understand that that's just how it works, right? There's always going to be that level of pressure. There's always going to be for the greats or the ones that are expected to be great. And, you know, people are constantly looking for him to fail, right? Because that comes with greatness. People are just waiting to go, see, look, he's not that guy. But he was in every sense of the word. He was in every shape, way, or form, just absolutely remarkable. And San Antonio, I mean, he went to the right place, right? One, he gets to play under Pop, which I thought Pop did an incredible job kind of managing him this season, right? You saw early in the season as he's trying to get his feet under him, is trying to get the grasp and understanding of the game from an NBA level as a rookie. He comes in and it's kind of low on minutes. People are kind of like, hey, what's going on here? And I even made a video like a couple months ago now where I talked about how I thought Pop handled Victor perfectly, right? Kind of masked him early. Don't play him, 35, 40 minutes a game. You're not doing anything. You're not winning anything this year. One, keep him healthy. Two, kind of as early as he's trying to figure stuff out, right? You don't want to put too much on his plate to where now the media, now people can turn on him, right? You keep him in small doses. It all becomes about the highlights. It all becomes about the great memorable moments, the things we've never seen before. And then, you start ramping him up and he starts playing more and more minutes and he starts looking better. I mean, there were talks like, man, Chet's going to be the surefire, right? Is he going to win the Rookie of the Year? But Pop knew what he was doing, right? Allowing him to kind of get his legs under him, then get later into the season, and then you start ramping him up to where now you can really kind of let him flourish because he's grasped and has the understanding and is capable of just kind of taking over. I mean, he was spectacular. And you saw his numbers and everything really kind of just skyrocket as we got towards the back end of the season. So I thought they did an excellent job with Victor Wembanyama. But a couple things, obviously they got to address the roster and start. And look, I'm not saying that they have to immediately go into title contention or anything like that next year. Luckily, because Victor's so young, he's so gifted, you can take your time, right? You could spend the next 2-3 years really kind of rounding out and flushing out this roster. But I do think San Antonio has some real decisions to make, and they need to kind of, obviously they need to get a point guard, like a legit point guard that can help get Victor the basketball, because it was incredibly frustrating watching how frequent Victor Wembanyama is on the basketball court and his team is just acting like he's not even there. And he's the biggest mismatch in the league. It's just like, I mean, it's just everyone's just looking off of him. He has established position. There were times where he was like completely wide open and his team is just missing him and not even thinking about him. And just that just can't happen, right? Obviously, Victor's your best player, but even just you need somebody that understands like, hey, I need to get guys in position. Oh, he's established. Let me get the ball down to him. And just even kind of just balance out the roster, period. Right? So they definitely need a playmaker, somebody that can put Victor in the right spots and help him kind of elevate even further. I think if you get a real playmaker that can actually run some real actions with him, I mean, he could end up being minimum 25 to 30 point a game guy. I mean, 20, almost 21, whatever this season. So it's not that far-fetched to think another year. But also just kind of rounding out these guys like, Vassell and Johnson and all these guys. Like, are you keeping any of them? Are you trading some of them? I'm not super sold on either guy as like Victor's running mate going forward. Now, if one of them is like your third guy, maybe, right, depending on who your second guy is, and especially with how great Victor is and how transcending he can potentially be, I think, Keldon Johnson would probably be my pick, right? You keep him and he can kind of be your third guy. But I think you go get like a legit number 2 guy at some point. And again, I'm not saying that they have to do it today, right? I'm not saying go and get, you have to go and sell the farm for a Trae Young or something like that. No, right? But if you can get the right piece, like I would love to see like San Antonio maybe try to bring back DeJounte Murray, or even like just talks about like D'Angelo Russell. I think D'Angelo Russell could work for them for right now as a playmaker. Maybe you draft the guy in the draft, but obviously they're probably going to take the best player available, and maybe that the guy that they draft is Victor's running mate going forward. We'll see. Again, San Antonio can be patient, and the beauty of San Antonio is that and trust that they're going to do whatever it takes to eventually make this a contender, right? They're not an organization that's just happy with making the playoffs or happy being a tanking team, right? This is an organization that has that championship pedigree and have had dynasties. So they would love to get back to that with Victor Wembanyama, and he's as good of a piece as anybody for San Antonio to potentially get back to that, right? And then you have Pop, and you just got to round it out. But Victor was, from an individual scale, he was spectacular, and he still is just beginning, which is even scarier, right? He's only going to get better. He's only going to get more understanding of the game, better feel of the game, better timing, right? Better discipline. He's going to eventually get into that grown man body, right? He's going to develop some strength and physicality, right? Like there's a lot that Victor's going to bring to this table and is going to continue to just head in that positive trajectory, which makes it even more terrifying. Obviously, if you're a Spurs fan, then you're stoked, but just Victor in general, like I'm very excited to see where this young man progresses and where he goes with his career and how he, develops into the player that I think he could potentially be. Because man, Victor just, in my opinion, sky's the limit for him. Honestly, I think sky's the limit for Victor Wembanyama. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts on Victor Wembanyama? What are your thoughts on him winning Rookie of the Year? Was this a big shocker? Was this, something that you were aware of? What do you think the Spurs should do going forward, rounding out the roster and whatnot? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.